A while ago, I posted a video on how to make a multi-directional hoop antenna for your TV, and it is still one of my most viewed episodes. Many people have built it based on my design, and they tell me what a great antenna it is. The two questions I am asked the most about this design are, can you make this even simpler to build? And why don't you just make it out of a hula hoop? Well, guess what? Today I'm going to make this hula hoop into a multi-directional TV antenna that will be faster and simpler to build than my original design. Sound interesting? Let's hop to it. When I posted the original hoop antenna, I thought it was one of the easiest to make and best performing antennas that I've ever used, and I still think that. I keep my hoop antenna in the front of my A-frame camper, and I have used it more than once to get TV reception while we were out traveling. It has always pulled in clear picture and sound wherever we've used it. But what seems simple and easy to me isn't necessarily simple and easy for everyone. The biggest comments I get are on the original PEX tubing antenna body. PEX plastic tubing is a great material to use as it's extremely durable and easy to work with, and I still use it and recommend using it, but I understand it might not be right for everyone. Not everyone might have rolls of PEX laying around like I do. Also, many people don't want to buy an entire roll of it just to use a few feet to build an antenna. There are substitute tubings that can be used, like heat bending PVC or using irrigation tube, but based on all the comments, the simple answer is apparent to everyone. This antenna looks like a hula hoop. Why not just make it out of a hula hoop? So that's enough yakking, it's time to construct. The first thing I need to do is find a hula hoop. It turns out, at least in my area, not many stores stock them. I only wanted a kid's toy hula hoop, not one of those high-end adjustable size or adult workout ones. I'm trying to find something cheap. Based on my antenna design, it has to have a diameter of at least 26 inches. After searching all over, I finally found one at Target. It's 30 inches in diameter and costs $7. That will work out perfectly. Besides the hula hoop, I need a T-fitting, two number 8 by 1/2 inch lath screws, and an element wire 83.5 inches in length. With this hula hoop, I need a 1/2 inch PEX A T-fitting like these. I picked them up at Lowe's. With the hoop I'm using, this fits almost perfectly inside the tube. If you buy a different hula hoop, you may need to find the proper fitting for yours. If this antenna will be mounted outside, then get a tube of RTV silicone. Make sure it's RTV as it doesn't contain acetic acid and won't corrode the wires. Recently, I posted an episode showing how different element materials and gauges can affect your antenna's performance. If you haven't watched that episode, I really recommend you do so. For your convenience, there will be a link to it at the very end of this video. Since I'm keeping this build simple, I will just use a length of 10 gauge copper Romex wire. I'm going with the 10 gauge because it gets good reception and because I have a scrap piece of it that's just about the right length. To prepare the element wire, I carefully use a razor knife to slit the outer casing. Notice I wear work gloves. That's because razor blades and skin don't play well together and I don't like bleeding. After I've removed the outer sheath, I select one of the wires. Any of them will work. Since I picked one with the insulation on it, I will need to strip off 1 inch of it off each end. Now to the hula hoop. There is a label wrapped securely on the hoop and it has to be removed. I found that if I ran hot tap water over it for 10 or 15 seconds, it would peel away fairly easily. Under where the label was, there is a split in a tube stapled together. I use a razor knife to pry up the two staples until I can remove them. There's a short length of smaller tubing that is inserted in the hoop and acts as a splice. I'll remove it, but I'll keep it handy as I will need to use it in a few minutes. I'll need to cut the hula hoop until I can form a hoop that is 25.5 inches across at the inside diameter. Since my hoop has a diameter of about 30 inches, I'll start by cutting off 10 inches. I form it into a hoop, measure it until I get the required diameter, and trim as needed. Now I take the smaller splice tube and reinsert it into the hula hoop. From each end of the splice, I measure over 1 inch and mark it on the bottom of the hoop. Using a 3/16 inch drill, I drill through the marks and into the tube. These holes are where my antenna elements will exit. I remove the splice, grab the element wire, and fish it through the hula hoop. I need to feed the ends through the holes I just made. a set of needle nose pliers and a flat blade screwdriver helps a lot. I take the T-fitting and insert it into the ends of the hoop. I align the fitting so that it is at a right angle with the work table, then I tilt it slightly to the outside. There's only one mount on this design, so the antenna's weight will make it sag a bit. By tilting it out, I'm trying to compensate for the sag. Using my cordless drill, I screw in a lathe screw into each tube end from the outer edge, like this. I make sure I go through the tube and into the fitting. I grab the needle nose pliers and I bend a loop into each wire to form a terminal end. I remove the screws, insert them through the terminal ends, and reattach them into the antenna. If you're going to mount your antenna outside, make sure you seal the wire holes in the fitting connection with the RTV silicone like I'm doing here. My Hula Hoop antenna is complete. If you don't like the wild color, a bit of spray paint will make it any color you want. I think I'm just going to keep mine like this. I take the antenna up to my test TV and hook it up. All my antennas are designed to use a matching transformer, so I screw one on the terminals. You can choose not to use one, but as I have posted before, the performance will just not be as good. I run a channel scan, and I end up receiving 45 channels, which is quite good for an unamplified antenna here. I am even receiving the local PBS stations, which are difficult to pull in. I'm also getting channel 62, which is another tough one. So there you have it, my popular hoop antenna, but in a simpler to build version. I hope even more people will consider making one now. Please high-five the like icon and jingle the bell. If you like my content, please consider subscribing to my channel. I'm always working on something and I'd love to share it with you. A special thanks to all of you who are already subscribed. You are all awesome. Until my next episode, keep watching TV.